Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He was born on June 18, 1989, and his full name is François Aubameyang. He is a striker who presently plays for Barcelona in the La Liga competition in Spain. His quickness, finishing skill, and off-ball movement are all well-known attributes of his game. Aubameyang, a former international for Gabon, holds the record for most goals scored in the country's history. It was with the Italian team AC Milan that he started his senior club career, but owing to a series of loan spells in France, he was never able to play for the Italian club. It was in 2011 when he made the move to Saint-Étienne. Before moving to Borussia Dortmund in 2013, he was victorious in the Coupe de la Ligue with that club. Today we will looking at top 10 facts about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Before we begin, please like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Number 10. Aubameyang played at Newcastle's non-league ground. This part of Aubameyang's career is probably the one about which the least amount of information is available. When the Gabonese international player was ready to move on to greener pastures, Newcastle was one of the clubs that showed interest in signing him. In point of fact, he played at a non-league pitch in Newcastle, but the only reason he was there was because the Gabonese national team was training there. However, despite the knowledge that the Magpies were interested in signing him, he decided to complete another year at Etienne instead of traveling to Germany to play for the Gelsenkirchen club. This decision has nothing to do with the fact that the Magpies wanted him. Think of him as being in Newcastle. If he had been the one to lead their line, it is almost clear that they would not have been demoted. Number 9. He's known for his speed. Speed is something that captivates almost all of the football fans across the globe. There are very few things that can compare to the adrenaline rush that comes from watching a fast player go full speed ahead of defenders as if there is no tomorrow. When Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is in top form, it looks like a cheetah has taken control of his body and given him their speed. He leads a large number of defenders astray in pursuit of his shadow and forces them to experience the gnawing frustration of helplessness as they watch him wreak damage despite their inability to stop him. Number 8. Aubameyang played for France. After winning the Champions League with FC Porto, Jose Mourinho took the job of manager at Chelsea. During his introductory news conference in England, Mourinho referred to himself as the special one. Because Aubameyang has broken so many records before anybody else, he can refer to himself as the first one if he wants to follow in his predecessor's footsteps and claim the title for himself. To begin, he is the first player from Gabon to ever play professionally in any of Germany's leagues. In point of fact, during his first season playing for Borussia Dortmund, he scored a hat-trick. That is a very interesting approach to begin the conversation. When he scored against Switzerland in a group game during the 2012 Olympics, he was not only the first Gabonese to score at the Olympics but also the only Gabonese to score at the Olympics to this point. As a direct consequence of this, we are free to refer to him as the first one. Number 7. Aubameyang can be referred to as the first one. Since Aubameyang was born in France, he was also eligible to play for France, just like he was for Italy. However, he chose to represent Italy instead. Despite this, he expressed interest in competing for France and did not turn down the opportunity to be a part of the national squad for players under the age of 21. In the end, he only participated in one game for the junior squad, and he was never given another opportunity to wear the blue of France. Number 6. He declined to play for Italy. The former rising star for Dijon is currently the top scorer for the Gabonese national team. In addition to that, he serves as the team's captain and is the all-time leader in scoring for the squad. If he had decided to represent Italy instead, things might have turned out very differently. Aubameyang was able to compete for the Azzurri because he was born and raised in Italy and had continued to reside in that country for a significant amount of time. In point of fact, because to the talent that he possessed, the Italian Federation was interested in negotiating a contract with him. As a direct consequence of this, he was offered a spot on the Italy U19 team, but he turned it down. Number 5. His father was a captain. Anyone who is familiar with Aubameyang is aware that he has a strong relationship with his father. As a result of the guidance given to him by his father, he is currently playing for Borussia Dortmund rather than for a club in England's second level. The fact that Pierre Aubameyang Sr. was a football player and captained the Gabon national team throughout his playing career is not as widely recognized as it should be. Before becoming a scout for AC Milan, Aubameyang Sr., who was a natural defender, had played for his country a total of 80 times. Number 4. Aubameyang promised his grandfather he would play for Real Madrid. It's all about keeping a promise Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang made to his grandfather while he was on his deathbed, that he'll one day play for Real Madrid. For Aubameyang, It's all about keeping that vow. Aubameyang's mother has mentioned in the past that the entire family is a fan of Real Madrid and that they all want to see the Gabonese international play for the White. She also stated that they all want to see Aubameyang play for Real Madrid. Number 3. He owns expensive boots. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is a footballer who is known for his flashy play, according to all accounts. It doesn't matter if it's his outlandish hairstyle or his dress choices, he exudes swagger from every conceivable perspective. However, with a pair of custom-made boots that cost $3,918, he takes his lavish lifestyle to an all-new level. The boots have a ridiculously high price tag for a very straightforward reason: each one is covered with high-priced Swarovski crystals. The task was meticulously done because it required the use of 4,000 very little crystals in order to construct his name, number, as well as the crest and color of his club. Number 2. In 2015, he captained Gabon. Aubameyang led Gabon to victory at the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations, where he scored the opening goal in a 2-0 victory over Burkina Faso on January 17, 2015. Aubameyang also served as Gabon's captain during the tournament. Additionally, he scored twice against Mali on March 25, 2015 during the match. He has more points than any other player for Gabon. He declined to play for his country in a key World Cup qualifying match at home against the Ivory Coast, which they ended up losing by a score of 3-0. Aubameyang scored the third goal as Gabon defeated DR Congo 3-0 at home on March 25, 2021. This victory secured Gabon's spot in the African Cup of Nations, which will be hosted by Cameroon. Aubameyang was Gabon's captain for the game. At the time, he was suffering from malaria, which led to the onset of a fever and necessitated his admission to the hospital. Number 1. Aubameyang retired from football. On May 18, 2022, Aubameyang made the announcement that he would retire from playing football for his country. He was a member of the Gabonese national team for 72 years and scored 30 goals throughout that time. Before this year's Africa Cup of Nations in January, Aubameyang was found to have a positive test for COVID. He was subsequently forced to withdraw from the competition due to what the federation described as a cardiac condition. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, a national of Gabon, was a player for Arsenal in the Premier League. On February 2, 2022, FC Barcelona made the announcement that they had signed Aubameyang after he had terminated his contract with Arsenal. That's a wrap for today's video. What are your thoughts on our list? Let us know in the comments section below. And make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates.